Welcome to this explainer. If you've ever felt like you're stuck in neutral while everyone else is just speeding right past you down the highway of life, well, you're in the exact right place. Today, we're breaking down a fundamental behavioral pattern that's likely holding you back. We're going to explore the imperative of immediate action and precisely why waiting for that perfect moment is honestly the ultimate trap for unsuccessful people. It's time to unpack the psychology of starting.
So, I want you to be really honest with yourself right now. Are you putting your biggest goals on hold, just waiting for the conditions to be absolutely flawless? Well, here's a bit of dry truth for you. That perfect moment you're waiting for? Yeah, it's currently stuck in traffic. Its GPS is completely broken, and it's never actually arriving. Waiting for perfection is just a really sneaky way we give ourselves permission to do nothing.
Section 1. The perfect moment illusion.
See, there's this massive tension between a stagnant state of waiting and a rapidly dynamic reality. Unsuccessful people tend to build their mindset on contingencies, right? They're constantly waiting for something else to finish before they can even begin. It's like a cognitive mirage. It literally tricks your brain into believing that inaction is somehow a productive form of preparation. But while they hit pause on their ambitions, the world doesn't stop to let them catch up. They remain completely unchanged, locked in this holding pattern while the very environment they're waiting to perfect shifts entirely and simply passes them by.
Section 2. 4 pillars of paralysis. Now, before we can fix procrastination, we absolutely need to validate the psychological hurdles you might be facing. We have to diagnose the distinct internal villains causing this debilitating state of inaction. First up is the fear of failure. Think about this as a literally paralyzing fear of making mistakes. It completely stops you before you even begin your journey. The very thought of stumbling creates so much mental friction that your brain just opts for the safety of doing nothing instead of the risk of actually executing.
And that leads right into perfectionism. This is that insidious desire for everything to be absolutely flawless right out of the gate. By demanding that conditions be perfect or that your very first attempt be completely without fault, you're effectively disqualifying yourself before the race has even begun. It's a totally impossible standard that acts as a frustrating brick wall against your progress.
Then you compound that with a deep lack of confidence. That nagging uncertainty about your own abilities? When you don't trust your own skills, it actively hinders any forward momentum. It makes you second-guess literally every single decision, keeping you firmly planted in your comfort zone. And sure, it feels safe there, but absolutely nothing ever grows in that zone.
Finally, combine all of this with overthinking, excessive analysis leading straight to pure inaction. You analyze a problem from so many different angles that you completely lose sight of the solution, trapping yourself in this anxious cycle of what-ifs. Honestly, if you ever wonder why you feel stuck, it's almost certainly a combination of these exact internal villains holding you down. Okay, let's take a breath and slow down for a second, because this is where the pivot happens. Perfection is unattainable. Since it is quite literally impossible, starting imperfectly is the only real way forward. You have to give yourself permission to be a work in progress. Let go of the fantasy and embrace the reality of a messy, imperfect start.
Section 3. The action blueprint. So how do we actually execute that messy start? First, you embrace that imperfection. Because perfection is a myth, you're freed up to just start and improve over time. You take immediate action by breaking massive, intimidating goals down into realistic, bite-sized, manageable steps. Couple this with a growth mindset, fundamentally believing you're going to learn and adapt as you go, and heavily prioritize your most crucial tasks to aggressively shatter that cycle of procrastination.
The core truth here is profound, but it's incredibly simple. The best way to learn and grow is by doing. Action itself breeds growth. You really can't theorize your way to improvement. You actually have to put your hands in the clay, make the mistakes, and do the actual work.
When it comes to overcoming the tendency to procrastinate, I really want you to remember why this matters to you specifically. Applying these realistic steps, starting imperfectly, breaking down those huge goals, believing in your capacity to learn, and focusing only on the crucial tasks, this is exactly how we ultimately achieve what we set out to do. It's not magic. It is a deliberate, conscious choice to favor forward momentum over the illusion of perfection. To wrap things up, I want to leave a powerful thought hanging in the air for you. The best time to start is right now. So, what will you do next? Don't just watch this explainer and move on to another distraction. Connect this directly to your immediate reality. Look at that project you've been putting off. Accept that your first attempt won't be flawless, and ask yourself, what is the very first, beautifully imperfect step I'm going to take today?